All right, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the Two-Stroke Turbo channel. Welcome back to lots of fun little cars and Stella the shop dog, who's trying to eke out of here because she hears me talking on the phone or talking on my camera. So funny, she's camera shy. I'm not so camera shy and I'm willing to talk. This is a car that, well, I shouldn't say that we don't work on, but it's a normal car. It's not an Isetta. It's not a microcar of any type. But that doesn't mean that it's any easier to work on. If anything else, it is worse. Stella is going to go back to bed there in her little bed and not even look at me because she knows how hard it is to work on a Lexus. So this car came in and I think I told you guys the steering was out, has electric steering, battery was dead, and if you hooked up the cable to the battery, it would arc like sparkles, like it was a huge 300 amp draw. And I determined that the alternator was bad. I could feel the shaft of the alternator. The alternator resides way down in this hole here. And I pulled it out yesterday. It took me 4 hours. I think it's one of the most difficult alternator jobs I've ever done. I have it here on the floor, this being the old one, and this bracket, which is killer because you can't get it out of the hole. And I don't know how I'm gonna get that bracket on and get the alternator back in it. But it is crazy difficult, the packaging they've got. The bolts are all accessible down through there. And there's no way to get through the wheel well. If there was a nice open hole in the wheel well, it would have been easy, but it's completely blocked. So you can't pull the tire off, you can't pull a panel down. It's just super difficult. So we're sweating, we're frustrated, we are struggling trying to get this car back on the road. And I got to get that new alternator back into that hole and make it all work. All the panels, all the stuff, everything's got to come apart to get the alternator out. It is crazy. Sometimes I think working on microcars is therapy. Stella, what do you think? Can you give me a little therapy? I'm going to give you a little pet. Oh, you're such a cute little puppy. Petting Stella makes everything better. Okay, so I got the big alternator out and actually in. What's neat is this alternator has a, what is that called? This pulley is like an anti-vibration pulley. Like you can turn it. Maybe it's called an anti-vibration pulley. It, as long as you're going one way, it will engage, and if you go the other way, it backs off. So if you have any belt slippage or vibrational rotation, I think it's supposed to save the alternator. Anyhow, when I first got the car in the shop, I could smell something burning, and I reached down in the engine compartment and I touched this shaft, the belt shaft, and it was just hot to the touch. So there was no indication, no lights came on, nothing. It stalled on the customer on the bridge. There was no warnings whatsoever, and then the steering didn't work. So I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck happened? I thought the steering burnt up. It is electric steering. But now I'm thinking it was just the alternator, I guess. So I've got the new alternator in the car, a brand new Denso, not a rebuilt, just a brand new Denso, because I just do not want to do it again. I do not want to have, it's a lot of work. I think it took me 4 hours to get it out and probably 2 to get it back in because I didn't know how to get all the stuff undone. There's a bracket in the back way down there by the exhaust. If you can see it or not, you can't see it. It is so difficult to get to. Then you got to get all this wiring out of the way, all the plastics out of the way, and it just comes right out here. You just got to get it just right and it comes right out, but it takes a while. So I've got the battery charged. I'm exhausted and frustrated, and I'm hoping this thing doesn't catch fire just being hooked up. So I've got the battery hooked up. I don't smell anything burning, which is good. I've got my tester on and it's showing 12 volts, right, actually 13, right at the top of 12 because the battery is freshly charged. Let's turn this car on and see what happens. Oh, Stella. We can't pass Stella in her cute little bed. Let's give her a little pat on the head. I hope. Sometimes, you know, being an experienced mechanic, a seasoned mechanic, this type of stuff can get you down. I hope the car doesn't catch fire. Okay, we've got to put our foot on the brakes. Oh, it started right up. No alternator light. Okay, that's good. Let's check that. Okay, I turned it off and turned it back on too quickly. I want to take my foot off the brake, turn it on, make sure the alternator light works. Okay, yes, we do have the battery light down there. That wasn't coming on before, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the car on, put my foot on the brake. Notice the needles are burnt out. The fuel and the temperature needles are lit up, but the speedometer and the tachometer needles do not work. Oh, Stella, you're so cute. Oh, I hope it's working. Is it working? Okay. It's not great. It's a 14 though. It means it's charging. I would expect it to be a little higher than that, but that's what it is. That's fine. Lights are on. I don't smell anything burning. Looks like the belt is on correctly. Still at 14 volts. Something's changing tune in here. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna turn this thing off. Give the dog a little pet, a happy pet, because I think we fixed it. Now I let the car sit and see if it catches fire. So I'm gonna turn the engine off. I do not smell anything burning. Let's feel the shaft, feel it's hot. It's a little warm. It's not hot though. Well, I'm gonna call that fixed for now. So now I'm gonna let the car sit for a day with this on here and see if it draws down to the point where you can't start it, or if there's an electrical issue, if the steering is an issue. I don't know. It smells a little funky, but it smells like hot leaves because the car's been sitting for a long time. It's been in brush. You can see all the debris on the back of the car, and I think it just has leaves in the engine compartment. Oh, Stella, we're happy now. Okay, so after doing the most torturous, labor-intensive alternator job I think I've ever done in my life, I parked this car out behind the shop, left the battery connected all night, hoping it doesn't catch fire. I'm gonna know in a second here, pressing the fob, if indeed the battery is still charged. So I'm gonna press the fob, see if the doors unlock. Ho, ho, ho! Really? Nothing's caught fire yet. I'm gonna start up. Let's see if it starts. We've actually still got it. We've got a dome light. That means, have I fixed this thing? Saw the, made a crackling noise. It's partly warmed up. How is that possible? It's running. That's all I care about. That's great. Well, on to the next car, I guess. That's crazy. That alternator is buried in there. I never want to do that again. But the car cleaned up good. I gave it a bath before I parked it. But the ultimate test was to let it sit for a day or so and just see if it started without catching fire. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next video. What will the next video bring? I don't know. You have to just stay tuned and watch, find out.